Hi everyone, welcome back to my anti-post little portfolio and sort of Cheltenham discussions where I'm going to be putting a couple of bets up for you today. In fact, I'm going to be putting 3 bets up for you today. I'm going to try and get this portfolio closed out in the next week or two. Still got a few races that I want to get some selections in for, and yeah, could have nearly put an extra one up for you today, but I've decided to bite the bullet and just wait. This horse runs on Thursday this week. Is currently a massive price for the race that I was going to put her up in. In fact, she's currently around 100 to 1 for that race, and I was going to put her up at that value. I'm just going to wait and see how Thursday goes. Probably lose a bit of value if she was to romp up in that race, but I'm willing to sit back and just watch her last run, albeit not at the distance that I think she wants now. Wasn't very good, and back at the trip that I think she will run at the festival, I think she'll be more like it on Thursday. So I'm just going to wait and see how that goes. But I've got 3 bets for you. We'll say now that 2 of them are kind of cover bets in terms of they are races that I have already put horses up in earlier on in the season, and those horses have either fallen by the wayside or one of them I'll get into more discussions about in a bit. There could be something wrong with. So little bit of something that I want to bring to your attention beforehand is regarding the Cheltenham Preview evening. Those of you on my Facebook page will have seen the poster out there for that, and it's going to go up on Twitter probably later on this evening, and I'll bring it up on here for you right now. This preview evening is going to be on Saturday the 13th of March around the 7:30 start time, and it's all going to be in aid of the Bob Champion Cancer Trust. It's the Bob Champion Cancer Trust is the charity that I raise money for with our Cheltenham Festival previews every year now, and Bob is always one of our panellists who comes along and donates his time for that. And as you can see from that lineup there, we have a very good lineup this year. Of the fact that we're doing it under COVID times and having to do an online stream rather than a live one where people attend does allow us to get people in from further afield. We've got in there a professional gambler and odds checker tipster Andy Holding. Well, as you can see, Bob Champion. We've got trainer Phil Kirby, the jockey Sean Quinlan. We've got racing previewer and the man that everybody loves on Twitter, Andrew Blair White. And Final Furlong podcast founder and TalkSport pundit Emmett Kennedy is going to join us. So as you can see there, we've got a great lineup. Should be a good laugh. It will last a few hours. We'll have a little break in the middle. We're going to preview probably around 4 races from every day, and you'll get some great insights into those races from all of us on the evening. If you would like to attend that and view it, it's going to be £5 to watch it. It's definitely going to be live on Facebook. I'm working on getting it live on YouTube. That information will be to follow. If you would like to watch the preview evening, right next to my name here on the screen, you can see you've got my Twitter handle, you've got my Facebook page that's been set up. We're now my YouTube channel and Facebook page are going to be called Turning for Home Racing Previews. And then the GoFundMe link you can see there on the screen is the GoFundMe link for the Cheltenham Preview evening. If you go onto that GoFundMe link and pay a £5 minimum, if you can donate more, the more the merrier. Obviously, we want to raise as much money as we can for a great cause. And to be honest, £5 is not a lot of money for the amount of information and tips you are going to be getting for the festival. So if you can donate more, please do. But once you have made that donation to the GoFundMe page, if you can just send me a message on the Facebook page, you'll see there's a post on there regarding the preview evening. If you can send me a comment in that post just saying paid, and I will come back to you with further details on how to view the link. It might not be straight away, just in the process of getting it set up, so but I will come back to you. So that's the Cheltenham preview evening. Just wanted to get that information out to you, and we will move straight on to the first bet. The first bet is going to be a cover bet, and probably a bet that I've kind of been putting off in hope that I don't really want the horse to go there, because I have got quite a few bets on the horse to run elsewhere. The first bet I put up this season was Real Steel for the Gold Cup. I thought he might come back and run a good season over 3 miles, having run an absolute blinder in last year's Gold Cup. That didn't happen. He's ran poor over both 2.5 and 3 miles, and that bet, as far as I'm concerned, is out the window. Like I say, it was the first bet I put up, and I'm going to take another selection for the Gold Cup. As you all know, I put Royal Pagile for the National Hunt Chase before his last run. Horse that I love, and I would be really sure of in the National Hunt Chase. I think he'd win it quite easily, to be honest. The more and more Cheltenham is getting closer, the more and more I'm starting to think he's actually going to turn up in the Gold Cup. For that reason, I'm going to put him up for the Gold Cup, because I do think that if he went there, I do think he would run an absolute blinder still. And to be honest, if he was mine, I was Rich Ritchie, I would probably send him to the Gold Cup. It's a race that Rich Ritchie hasn't won before. He doesn't have another hot contender in there, so why not send him there? You know, it's a long time as a year to say, oh, we'll send him to the National Hunt Chase this year and go to the Gold Cup next year, because anything can happen in a year. And if you've got a horse that is running the time figures and the ratings that he is, I think you'd be within every right to just go and run him at the Gold Cup. So yeah, that's probably where that one is, and I'm going to put him up non-runner no bet in case he doesn't run there, and I think he's currently best priced at 10-1 non-runner no bet. So yeah, like I say, I think he'd be in with the right chance of a Gold Cup, and I think the way the Gold Cup is panning out is what might make Venetia Williams and Rich Ritchie send him there, because I think it's very, very open. In behind the favourite Album Photo, who's the rightful favourite. There's not a lot in that this year. Native River's just come out and run a good race, but is he really going to win another Gold Cup? I'm not so sure, and he's certainly going to need the ground to be on the very soft side. I just think Royal Pagile will be right in the mix there. I think he'll be a right danger to Album Photo as well. So to cover my Real Steel bet, and to also get him in there if he doesn't end up going to the race that I put him up at in the National Hunt Chase, we are going to put Royal Pagile up for the Gold Cup at 10-1 non-runner no bet. That is the first cover bet, and the second cover bet we'll get straight on to is in the Ryanair. The sort of captain of my team this year was Min. Now, if all is well with Min, I do still think he's the most likely winner of this race. I just got the impression watching Road to Cheltenham last week, and I've seen a few other people comment this in the comments section of that video as well. I didn't get the feeling from Ruby Walsh that all was well with Min. I kind of got the feeling he was holding back a little bit, and the way Min pulled up in the last race, having clagged a couple of fences and landing square on top of one before being swiftly pulled up by Patrick Mullins, I'm just not so sure that Min is fit, and I feel he could be injured. If he ends up getting pulled out the race, everybody else's prices are going to come in. I'm a little bit annoyed because I nearly put this horse up for the Ryanair instead of Min. But at the time, he'd just run over 3 mile, and I got the impression that they were going to keep him over 3 mile and he wouldn't run here. That horse is Fakir Doudary. Fakir Doudary is a horse I have loved through the years. I backed him in the Supreme when he ran a creditable 4th behind Classical Dream as a juvenile. Joseph O'Brien had a cracking stable of juveniles at that time, a bit like Gordon Elliott has now, and pushed Fakir into the Supreme, and he ran a very good race. Since then he's gone into the novice chase last year where he was second behind, put the kettle on in the Arkle, and then he's come out this year and been ran over a couple of inadequate trips. He ran over 3 mile, as I say, in the Savills chase. He came out and had his seasonal reappearance over 2 miles, was beaten by Notebook in second, quite considerably beaten by Notebook in second. Then he was stepped right up to 3 miles and was pulled up in the Savills chase, which was just too far for him. He just didn't get the trip. And I think 2.5 miles is his ideal trip. He did go back down to the 2 mile trip, where he ran a brilliant race and was second to Chacun Passoir at the Dublin Racing Festival. I was really impressed with that run, and he was around the 14-1 mark then for the Ryanair, and I nearly put this video on last week of him, missed the boat. Lydia Hislop's gone and put him up on Road to Cheltenham, and sure enough, the 14-1 has gone, and I think the best price you can get for him now is 12-1, 10-1 in most places, but you can still get 12-1. I think with William Hill, if I remember rightly. But yeah, that is still available, and like I say, it is a cover bet for Min, but I also think even if Min runs there, I think Fakir will be a danger, and we could even have both. If Min is fit and Fakir is there, I think we could have both those horses in the top 3. There's not a lot at the top end of that betting, like Allaho and whatever, that I'm not keen on. So I think Fakir could run a very good race there for us. So those are the 2 bets that are sort of like I say, I've already got selections in the races, but I am using my own money. These are bets that I put on myself, and I have backed Fakir in the Ryanair, so that is at 12-1. The final bet is a new bet in a new race that we've not put one up in, and one that I'm fairly keen on, to be honest. It is in the Triumph Hurdle. Now, a little secret I'll let you all into here is I very nearly put up this week, and I was going to put up Zanahiyr for the Supreme. I thought, and I have thought since Quilixilos ran, that Gordon Elliott would maybe split these up and send, with him not being able to put Quilixilos in the Supreme, I thought he might actually send Zanahiyr to the Supreme. I've been sent a couple of, I mentioned this to a couple of lads that I speak to, Mark Mackay and whatever, and they've sent me articles where supposedly Gordon Elliott is saying he's definitely not sending Zanahiyr to the Supreme. So I was going to put it up non-running no bet, but unless I hear anything different, I kind of thinking it's a bit of a wasted bet at the minute. In terms of the Triumph, though, I think Zanahiyr is too short, and I want to give you a couple of stats that Zanahiyr doesn't really fit, and a couple of reasons why I'm not backing him. When you look at the Triumph over the years, it's been very up and down in terms of the favourites in the race and the sort of top end of the betting. The last couple of years we've had, 3 years, we've had a 12-1, a 20-1 and a 9-1 winner, none of which were in the top 3 of the betting. However, we all know that the red hot favourite for the race last year, Goshen, was going to romp up, having not come across a freak accident at the last. So kind of take that one into consideration a little bit. But before that, it was quite a hot race for the favourites. I think we had 3 or 4 years on the bounce where we had favourites and second favourites winning. So, like I say, it has been up and down. But the one, rather than the prices, the area I want to look at, which was picked up off one of the Cheltenham shows, and Paul Keeley mentioned this, that I found very interesting, was that the juveniles tend to have needed to run fairly close to Cheltenham. Running early season and then having a break off and coming back for Cheltenham is not the way to go in this race. Now, if you haven't run since Christmas and then go straight to Cheltenham, 25 horses have done that in this race. Not one of them has gone on to win. Now, Patrick Mullins stressed his concerns for French Seal for this. French Seal was obviously purchased and went to Willie Mullins' yard after his last run, has been dropped out by Willie and then brought back for the festival. Didn't run last weekend when they had the option of running him. and he's going to go straight to the festival. And he stressed how difficult that is to do, to sort of drop a horse out of training for a while, put him in a field, and then bring him back and get him race fit and ready for that one big race. That applies to Zanahiyr as well, who we have not seen since Christmas. Now, Zanahiyr has done nothing wrong today and is the rightful favourite in this race. But I just found that very interesting, that this time last year, we had not even seen the winner of the Triumph yet in Burning Victory. Hadn't even ran over hurdles yet. So, running close to Cheltenham, having a prep run, and then going for the race tends to be the way to be. The last two winners of the race have only had one run and straight to Cheltenham. And the race before that, Far Class, had only had 2 runs and straight to Cheltenham and were recent runs. So I'm taking that into consideration with my selection. My selection is Alan King's Tritonic. I've had him on my radar for a little bit, but to be honest, I was kind of thinking that Zanahiyr was going to be hard to beat. But as a lot of you know, I am a bit of a stats man, and I didn't like those stats of the horses not running from Christmas and going straight in. And I'm going to take the top 2 on in French Seal and Zanahiyr with Tritonic for Alan King. Alan King has won this race. He's no mug in the Triumph. He's had a couple of winners down the years, back in 2005 and 2007 with Penzama and Catch It. And then he also had a second and a third in the race a couple of years after that. I think we're looking 2009, 2012 for Walk On. I can't remember the name of the other one that came third. But the one that Walk On and his third place were in Tritonic's colours, the McNeil family colours that Tritonic will be running in. So they've had a couple of places in this race as well. And like I say, Alan King knows what he's doing with these juveniles. Albeit it is probably around 9 years, I think it is, since he's had, but he went through a period of having some real good ones in the race, and then he's had a bit of a spell, like I say, where since he's not had one. But I think he can do it this year with Tritonic. Came out, he's had the 1 run so far. He's rated 100 on the flat and has run an RPR of 106 on the flat. That is really good. Those of you who are flat specialists, if you like, will know that is a good high rating on the flat. Now, you might think that flat ratings don't matter coming into jumps racings, but I can tell you that they do. And the fact that he is rated what he is on the flat puts him a stone better than Zanahiyr on the flat, or over a stone better than Zanahiyr on the flat. And the reason that comes into play a little bit is that the Triumph is run on the new course at Cheltenham. Now, the new course only has 2 hurdles in the last 7.5 furlongs at Cheltenham. So once you get to that point, it becomes very, very much a stamina and speed test that you would get on the flat. Yes, there's a couple of hurdles to jump in there as well, but it's nothing like the old course. If this was run on the old course, you would have much more of a test on the jumping ability rather than the speed and stamina ability coming in. Like I say, you've got 3 hurdles in the last 5 furlongs of the old course, whereas you've only got 2 in the last 7.5 of the new course. So I think that'll play into Tritonic's favour. If you go back and watch his debut race over hurdles, coming over the last, he was in second place with a good bit to make up. I can't remember the name of the horse that was in second, had led all the way around and looked to be powering home. It didn't look as though he was going to catch him until he got over the last, and did he stay on strong, absolutely powered home and won quite comfortably by around a length in the end. And I think that staying ability is going to play right into his favour going up the hill at Cheltenham. So yeah, like I'm just coming to best price I think we've got is 12 to 1 for Tritonic, and we're going to put 2 points each way on that bet. I've just realised I haven't given you the points for the previous 2. We'll do them when I put they're all on the next page, which is coming up for you now. And as you can see at the bottom there are today's bets in blue. Fakir Doudary for the Ryanair, 2.5 points each way at 12 to 1. Royal Pagile for the Gold Cup, non-runner non-runner money back as it's called now, 10 to 1, 2 points each way. And the bet we have just spoke about, which is Tritonic for the Triumph, 2.5 points each way at 12 to 1. Just looking back through the other bets, the ones in red are the ones that have gone out in price, and in green have come in, black have stayed as they are. So we can see there that the Min has drifted ever so slightly after his last run, where we've just spoke about the problems he had, to 7 to 1. That's probably worth keeping an eye on, is Min's price on the exchanges. If he does at any point close to the festival, William Mullins is quite good at keeping his cards to his chest. If he does start to drift quite significantly, and any of you have got bets on there where you can cash out, it's really worth keeping an eye on that closely. I certainly will be. And we have got obviously the Real Steel bet that I've mentioned, where we are sort of writing that one off. Let's be clear about it. In the Bumper is a very good horse, as I keep saying. Probably if he does go to Cheltenham, we'll need. I don't see how he's going to reverse the form, to be honest, on Kilcrut and Sir Gerhard. So probably battling out for a place value in third. And then the other one that's drifted is Goshen in the Champion Hurdle. I believe at time of recording, about dinner, it's just after dinner on Tuesday here, that Goshen, I can't remember when Goshen runs. He runs soon. Totally lost my trail of thought with him there. And I'm not giving up on Goshen. I'm thinking that he could come back and actually run a very good race in the Champion Hurdle. But certainly needs to show something beforehand. Then if you look at the three that have remained the same, we've got Main Fact in the Stayers Hurdle. Runs this weekend, and we need to see something from him, to be quite blunt and frank about it, a little bit like we do with Goshen. The story is that he never ran his race, apparently, the last day when I kind of gave up on him. And the thinking that he's not as bad as that run actually, actually looked. So I'm hoping that he can come back, because I really fancied him before that race. I fancied him in that race as well, backed him, and he ran terribly. So hopefully he can come back to some sort of form in time for the Stayers Hurdle. The Stayers Hurdle, which is looking like an absolute brilliant race, by the way. And then the other one in the Stayers Hurdle, I backed Fury Road, which I jumped on after Main Fact ran a stinker when I thought it was all over and done with Main Fact. Now leaves me with two hopeful chances in the Stayers. Fury Road at 20 to 1 is now into 12 to 1. And I still wouldn't put you backing off him at 12 to 1, because I think he's still overpriced. And we've then got last week's bets. Barbados Bucks in the Albert Bartlett is still at 12 to 1, and Futile Raffles in the Marsh is still 20 to 1. We have also got the bets that have come in and are looking quite good. In terms of Royal Pagilo, we've just covered today. If he does go to the National Hunt Chase, which I think he'd be very much likely to win it, but it's whether they want to actually take the punt and have a stab at a very open Gold Cup, I suppose. Then we've got the Arkle and Ergamine, 3 points each way, coming very swiftly into 5 to 2. Riviere de Tel in the Mare's Novice, non-runner no bet, still not sure if she's actually going to run there, but he's into 14 to 1. So that's the bets, that's where we're at for now, and hopefully be back with a couple more at the back end of the week if the horse that I'm waiting on for Thursday comes in, and I've got another one or two lined up, so I might get another bit out on Thursday. We'll be back with Mark for a preview evening on Thursday as well, so we'll catch you all then. Okay, so I might speak to you then. Thanks for watching, and feel free to shoot any comments down in the comments section, and please do subscribe to the channel, and you'll ring that notification bell, and you'll be notified of any updates as and when the videos come up. And if I can get the preview evening on the YouTube channel, you will also be notified of that. Okay, speak to you all soon.